Hey y'all, it is me, the Floor Hugger. How are you guys doing? Before we get into this interview, I want to give a big thank you again to the guest, Danielle Rayne. She took time out of her busy day to come and talk with us about gaming, voice acting, being an actress, and just being in that industry. All her social media will be in the description as well as on screen. Make sure to just show this video some love and show Danielle some love. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that goodness. Let us know what you want to see from us in the comment section below, and stay tuned for whatever we got coming next, because you know, at Lv1 Gaming, it's gonna be good.
What's going on, people? Fame Entertainment from Lv1Gaming.com, and thank you guys for rocking with us once again. Today is a little bit different from what we normally do. We have a special guest with us today, and we are super appreciative for her to take her time out of this. It seems like it's raining everywhere right now. Rainy day to come out and hang out with us. One thing you're going to see is a lot of smiling from the Floor Hugger today. This is something she's really been looking forward to and anticipating for a long time. But as you guys can see, we do have the DallazMan here today, the Floor Hugger, and our special guest, which I will allow the Floor Hugger, who is already smiling, to introduce our guest today. And with that being said, I'm going to give the floor over to my sister.
What's up, Sarange? Hi, everybody. We are here with just one of my biggest crushes, and just I love her. She's just so talented and been doing so much for just the fandom. And please introduce yourself. People probably know your face, or they hear your voice and they're like, wait, I know that voice. Please tell people where they can find you, who you are, and why you're so loved.
I have the great fortune of having been Vetronix on Mass Effect Andromeda. It's been such an incredible ride. Becoming part of the Mass Effect family. It's like none other, you know.
I can. But aside from, we're our favorite spiky space girlfriend, where have people seen you? Because I'm guarantee you there's like 3 people that are like, I know that face. Where have I seen that face before?
I have done a lot of TV, mostly. A couple of movies. I've played everything from, badasses with guns on Hawaii Five-0, and recently I was my first colonel on NCIS, and I've also played women in dresses and high heels on stuff like Revenge, Castle, a couple shows like that. So it's been a nice, long, fun career, but I have to say that that stepping into video games and voice acting for them has been, it's an incredible way to perform. It's 100% different from everything I've done on camera, but the way you just kind of fly into a room and not have a script prepared, and they just start flashing things on a screen, and you just go with it. Everything you've ever learned about cold reading comes into play. Just connecting as organically as you can with an alien character, and just bringing everything that you have in, and just trying to get it to be an organic process, where if it comes out of you and it's right, great. And sometimes you go, no, please don't use that take. Let me try that again. Yeah. I don't know who she was, but that was not Vetra.
Is there a line that you draw between like voice acting and face acting? I don't know but like acting and voice acting, do you differentiate the two, or like is it just acting to you and it's just in a different way?
It is acting in a totally different way. It's the preparation, I think, because if you're going to be on camera, you got lines to learn, you have research to do, because of the nature of video games, and they don't want you to have any information beforehand. You really have to tap into your improv, and for that, it's like getting so comfortable with yourself in the character, the parts of yourself that you can use in the character, that you can just simply, read something. And yeah, sometimes on the first take, you got it. And other times it's not till like that 3rd or 4th line reading that it's like, oh, that's what she's saying. Okay, let me do this again now, and then you just really hope they don't use any of those first takes.
So
they probably do.
Really quick. So you talked about preparation, and one of the things, because I'm not a big in the game Portal. I know nothing about Portal. I'm a big video game player, and I'm gonna speak blasphemy. I know nothing about Portal, right? So the Floor Hugger sent me this the short film you did with Portal. And speaking of preparation, I gotta ask, like, how, like, are you just naturally ripped like that? Because you were just like,
how did you prepare them guns?
Those guns
Is what he's asking.
The way I got that job for that Portal short film, Universal Studios has a Terminator attraction, had a Terminator attraction. I think it's only still in Japan, maybe. But they had one, and I was Sarah Connor for 14 years. I opened the show here in LA. I closed the show. But in that run, I got to learn a lot about stunts. I had to be in good shape. We did 10 shows a day. We had to climb, 6 flights of stairs to start the show, run around the theater. It was like a built-in workout.
Wow.
And it gave me the opportunity to be in the best shape of my life. But the John Connor, who I worked opposite, became a really big stunt coordinator. He did like all the driving for the Mad Max movies as of late. But he introduced me to Dan Trachtenberg, who is the director. And you know him from 10 Cloverfield Lane and things like that. But he told him, I guess Dan was saying, I need women who are kind of like these real strong Sarah Connor types. And Keith was like, I got your lady. So I went in and I auditioned. I did not know anything about the Portal game. So as soon as I knew about it, I started doing whatever research, playing whatever online games versions I could. But ultimately, it really just became about what is it about me that, is someone who is going to do whatever it takes to get out of a situation where you're trapped, whatever it takes. And that's really where the connection was. You tell me, point this gun at this thing. Now you're going to point it at this thing. And they do all the blue and the orange at in post-production. So, you're kind of like trusting. And the director, of course, gives you great, direction. This is what just happened. And you react to whatever he says. Again, that's the improv, But if my person, if who I am, can really relate to, I think the character's name was Shell. It's just kind of connecting, plugging into that,
I definitely wanted more.
Cool.
When that thing ended, I was like, oh no, it has to be more to this. Like,
I'm going on silent. There we go. Sorry.
You did.
Watch dinged. Nothing. Just thing. Sorry.
But yeah, he's right. I wanted more of that because once it's over, it's like, oh, damn. I just wanted more.
Yeah.
Like, that was the twist. There was a twist. There needs to be a resolution, but
Yeah.
There were so many fans calling for a full-length version of that full-length movie. But I think he's got so many other things going on that right now I think Dan Trachtenberg, for a while he was going to do Y: The Last Man, and I don't know what happened with that, but he's on to something else right now.
Jeez.
good.
Is it Predator? Is he doing Predator? I think it's something like that.
Oh.
Okay.
It's so we know you're Vetra. You are also Lady Death Whisperer. What is it like to be in the certain fandoms? Like World of Warcraft is very fanatic and Mass Effect is very fanatic. What is it like to be part of those? Because I see you're still putting out tweets almost every day of people retweeting of like fan art or saying they love you. Like what is it like to be a part of all of that?
I got a lot more of that from Andromeda than I did from the World of Warcraft games. Actually, World of Warcraft was my first voiceover gig. I did not have a voiceover agent. I told a friend at Terminator that I wanted to do this, and she was like, hey, I got a friend who's casting World of Warcraft right now. Why don't you come in and read for her? And it was the first audition I ever did, and I got it. And that casting director actually introduced me to my first agent. So I have fond memories of having done that, but that really, I just tapped into, I was classically trained. That was the first thing I did. So a lot of it to me just felt like Shakespeare, just this great big grand Shakespeare character. evil, but grand. So
Grand, exactly.
But Mass Effect, the fandom of that, even if you haven't played the game, you've heard about it, you've seen the characters. So when I was standing in front of the microphone, not knowing, they don't tell you what you just booked. You just booked a video game and you're going to go into this room, and you're standing in front of the microphone, and Caroline Livingstone, she's the casting director, she just starts telling you, let me introduce you to the Mass Effect world. As soon as you say, no, sorry, haven't played it, she's got to go in depth and really tell you about Turians before you, so that was really, you're standing there, it's like you don't want to go, ah! But at the same time, that's the way you're feeling inside. You're just trying to be as cool as you possibly can, because I'm gonna do this, no problem.
Vetra was probably, I know Mass Effect Andromeda had some issues, but we've all grown to love it. And Vetra was probably the coolest character, because you came off as like tough, and then you got to the sweet side, and it's just like, if you chose to romance her, and if you didn't, why are you watching this interview? A. But like, B, what are you doing? If you haven't played Mass Effect Andromeda, you haven't romanced Vetra, you aren't living your life to the fullest. It's 2021, y'all. Come on, go play Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm sorry, I'm just a fan.
Big fan.
So, I had a lot of fun playing it. I don't remember what was going on right then, but I remember I sat on the sofa and I played it 3 times through, just to try the different, scenarios and everything. And I'm not a gamer, but this was something just sucked me in. As soon as I was like, I just want to see what it's like. And then 3 playthroughs later, yeah, I gotta get back to my life again. Sorry.
R2. Will we see you? Because, we just saw some big announcements from BioWare. Will we see you in anything else BioWare? Maybe a certain Mass Effect or a certain Dragon Age that might be coming out?
Oh, you know what? Even if, the bottom line is you just have to say, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can really talk about right now.
We respect it.
Or they're fair.
Yeah. Those NDAs,
They are
a scary little piece of paper you signed.
Yes,
a scary
we
little
know.
piece of paper that usually doesn't say anything about blinking twice.
Stop.
Oh God, I can't blink now. Okay.
So I do have a question I would like to ask. So, looking through your filmography, you've done a lot of different assortments, from TV, film, and of course the video game voice acting. And so I heard something, and I also read something last year from the voice actor for Kratos. I'm not sure if you heard the God of War series. His name is Christopher Judge, and he made a comment about how he was hesitant to go into voice acting because of a bit of a stigma to where people who are normally on camera on TVs or movies going into voice acting is sort of their not necessarily a last hurrah, but like your careers may be, he called it flagging, right? So like, I want to get your thoughts on that. Is there really a stigma of people not wanting to indulge themselves into video game voice acting because it's not as quote unquote respectable as, being on some of the things you've done, whether it's the Law and Order or the Scandal, stuff like that? Like, is there a stigma between those two?
Well, if there is, unfortunately, I haven't been paying attention to it, so I'm probably like getting screwed over by that thing, if that's true. I don't know. I mean, I've always been that person who's like, somebody calls me and says, "Hey, I'm doing this movie, whatever," and I'm like, "Yeah." I mean, you can answer for that, floor hugger. I mean, how long did it take for me to go, "Yeah, sure, let's do it, fun"?
All about 5 seconds, I think.
Yeah. I especially when it comes to acting. When you want to have a good career, a long career, there's some points where you probably should look and go, yeah, maybe I shouldn't do this because it's really just horribly written. But for the most part, I have always benefited from just going, yeah, let's do that. So that's the way I feel about it. I think it's fun because it makes you more dimensional. You've done other areas. You've explored other areas. TV is a great way to make a living, but to me, Like I've done commercials. I've been a spokesperson for a cruise line. I've said yes to so many things that have given me other opportunities that maybe I wouldn't have had. The last commercial I did, I not the last one, but a commercial I did, we were like doing the craziest things, falconry. We're learning the roller skating, like when you're snow skiing, but it's on the rollerblades.
Yes.
Inline skating.
Yes.
Inline, is that it?
Yes, pretty much.
They just threw all these things at us. And we're like, yes, let's do that now. Yes, let's do that. And I think that's always the thing about acting. That part of you that just says, yes, let's try that. Sure, throw that crazy thing at me in that horrible spandex outfit and I'll just do it. Yeah. Oh, seriously, there was a hot pink spandex that I hope I never see again.
Oh, God.
Yoga's face when you talk about being in spandex, look.
I 90s child, grew up around so much spandex that it just, oh God, get it away from me. That must keep your career so fresh and so exciting, because you have a long career. Exactly.
Yeah, I think a lot of actors get into it because we get bored doing one thing for any long period of time. So when you do change it up and say yes to theater or doing something like that, it just keeps different muscles working. I'm that person who I really do get bored. I have a different hobby every 2 years, and that's just clearly indicative, oh, I don't feel like making, leather wrap bracelets anymore. I'm going to do this now. Same thing with my acting. I like being different characters all the time.
That's an interesting.
What's your latest hobby?
What? Say that again?
What's your latest hobby?
Oh, photography. Actually, this one's gone a little longer than 2 years. It's been really fun. I picked up a camera, which was actually, I just bought it for doing self-tapes, because in the acting field now, everything is, you're taping it yourself, you're recording it yourself and sending it in. But all of a sudden it was like, well, I'll just go in the front yard and take some pictures of birds, and then forget it. 2 years later, I got a lens this big, and spending all my money that I get from jobs on camera equipment. Oh well.
Starts so small.
I know.
You do all
it's so innocent when it starts out. I'm just gonna take a picture of this little hummingbird over here, and wow. And then $2,000 later, you have a mirrorless camera.
Yeah.
Whew,
Yeah.
Thank God for that commercial. Wow.
I'm trying to get like you. So all these hobbies and stuff, and all these different things that you can do, and a lot of it, I'm sure, has helped your acting a lot. Just jobs, period. But what was an experience that you had where it wasn't really about acting? You were just kind of doing it, but it actually helped you with your acting.
It helped me what? Help me. What's the last part?
With your acting.
I would say that there's a lot of sports and athletic things that I have done that probably ended up, leading into the stunts, and from being just very physical and having some hobby, whether it's, learning how to rappel, things like that, being a runner, that then when you incorporate them into other acting opportunities. I had this one job where I was playing a naturalist on an episode of Profiler who gets murdered, but she had to swim in water it was like this lake. It's supposed to be in Yosemite, but the water was literally 50 degrees. It was incredibly cold, and she's supposed to be swimming on natural. So partly it was because the stunt coordinator knew me, and he said, I got somebody who will do these stunts, but she's an actress, so you don't have to hire an actress and a stunt double. And
Why
in
do you
that
hate you so
particular
much?
case, I had to do this big fight scene in the cold water. I had to swim pretty much naked in a very cold body of water. And the direction to me was swim out as far as you can, and when you can't take it anymore, turn around and come back.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I do think that times like that, roles like that, have been when I feel like this is what I was built for. This is what I was created for. You know, the part of me that's athletic and likes to do these things, you know, is really my happiest when I'm trying to kill somebody with a skillet that's made out of rubber, you know. But yeah.
So have you ever been arrested for those unregistered guns?
I got an unregistered skillet though. Yeah. Yeah. They're gonna come get that thing from me any day now. Yeah.
Dallas, why are you like this? Oh, I love you.
Speaking of weapons, like, did they offer you to keep that portal gun or a replica? Because that thing was awesome.
No, they didn't. They didn't. And I tried to buy my own at Comic-Con. And, you know, literally, like, they wouldn't even let me jump the line to, like, get to the front of the line. Because at $150 cash, they sold out so
Quickly,
fast. And,
yeah.
Yeah. So, no,
I'd be like, don't you recognize me?
It's
Like,
literally
not to
my
pull the,
gun.
do you know who I am? But like, do you know who I am?
No, nothing. Great, fine.
Oh my god. Y'all are crazy, and I don't know what to do with y'all 90% of the time. Now, this is a question I like to ask most people, whether gaming, voice acting, actors. No shade to anybody else, but what would be your dream role that either a movie past or a movie coming up that you would like to do? Like, would you like to be Maria Hill in the Avengers series? Would you like to be Black Widow? Would you like to be, what would be your
Wonder
ideal
Woman.
Wrong?
Wonder
Ooh.
Woman. Yeah.
Let's do it right
I mean,
now.
you beat Gal Gadot's guns any day.
You can pull that off.
You know, I love the Wonder Woman movies. I still have not seen 84 though, because I don't have HBO now. Yeah, and the movie theaters aren't open here, so forget that.
Who's gonna tell her that it's okay? Just keep watching the first one, and you'll be fine. No, don't get me wrong. Like,
I haven't seen it yet either, but I hear things.
It's if you love Wonder Woman, you're gonna love it. If you just in love with the character,
you know,
you
I
will
am
love
that person where I have so many friends who are actors, and you know, they're like, "Oh, well, this needed to be done differently," and I'm like, "I just loved it.
Yeah.
I just loved
let me
it.
enjoy
I
it.
want to go again and again and again." You know.
I feel the same way with Suicide Squad. A lot of people don't like it. I'm like, I just want to enjoy it.
Yes.
Can I just enjoy it, please?
Yep. Birds of Prey. I really liked Birds of Prey. What's wrong with me?
I like Birds of Prey too.
Yeah.
And
Did you?
yes, I loved it, and people told me that it wasn't a good movie, and I was like, let me see for myself, which is the best way to go about things in life, of course. And I was like, oh, well, okay. Then and you know, Margot Robbie, I mean, she's just amazing. So
yeah.
It was
yeah,
really
that was a great cast overall. Yeah.
Same. Dallas, stop.
Yeah, she's really
Oh.
great too.
Yes.
It really brought characters to life. But I would love to see you in a. Would you play a Wonder Woman villain or just Wonder Woman herself?
No, I don't think I don't know. Here I am not saying yes. I don't know. Did I just say, you know? I don't mind being dark heroes. I think dark heroes are my favorite, like Linda Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and here I am. I love Dark Fate. I'm like the only person who did, you know, so you can just put me down as, oh, she's the one who liked Dark Fate. That one. Yeah. I saw it 3 times in the movie theater. Yeah.
Oh,
and I've
God.
got it queued up so I can watch it here at home. I don't know what's wrong.
That's a love for a movie that I don't think I've ever seen.
Dark Fate? Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
I mean,
To me.
we all have that one movie that, like, I love Avatar. Not a fan of James Cameron, but I love Avatar. I will watch it every month by myself, lonely. People are like, why are you watching it? I just can't help it. It's so good. And Zoe Saldana. I mean, she's beautiful. So Sam Worthington was awesome in that too.
I think Hugger just got a thing for women that can beat her up.
I mean, we did watch the Resident Evil stuff this week, and I was like, that woman's like 9 feet. She could beat me up.
She could beat all of us
mean, you know, I'm down to climb trees.
I'm sure Danielle can beat all of us up too. We saw her guns in the Portal short film. She can beat us up too.
I think you'll make a good Spider-Woman too.
Oh.
Are they doing that? Are they making that? I need to get on that?
Who do I need to call?
Ask them.
Who do I need to call?
Yeah.
Actually, come to think of it, when you say he made, they were thinking of him doing Why the Last Man. If he's doing anything from Image, jump on it. Especially if they do a live action Invincible. That's like, it seems like it's right up your alley.
So I'm going to hijack a question I think Hugger and Dallas wanted to ask. So we all know 2020 was crazy.
It was something
for everyone. It was a crazy year. A lot of movies and TV shows were either pushed back or delayed. So did you fall like to any hardships with having to, not being able to go and shoot some stuff that you was preparing to shoot or anything like that? Like for an actress, like how difficult was it to be able to actually do what you do best?
Yeah, I had two things. The week of March, was it like 13th? That was the Friday, I think, just before everything started to shut down, but word was happening, and I happened to be on a set, and I was supposed to do another job the next week, and everything started to shut down. But that's whether you're working on a set or whether you're working in a restaurant and, your job goes away. Everybody was in the same boat. It's just like, no idea. But I think actors are so much better equipped for that thing of being unemployed. We're used to it, having to find another job, having to figure out how to make your money stretch as much as you can, how to live on less. I think if anybody was in a position to withstand, the uncertainty, I think actors, you spent your whole life, with that kind of uncertainty. So jobs that I had that then got moved to April, that then seemed like they were never going to come back, all of a sudden popped up in, August or September. The one thing that was just going gangbusters, of course, was voiceover auditions. But it jumped to another level where not only did you have to have the equipment to do your own stuff, but then you also had the stuff for the recording, so no longer did you just send in an MP3 of what you thought, was the best take you could do, but now you had to have, what's the one, Source Connect. It's right there. I had to look at my screen to see the name again. Source Connect, so that you could plug directly into, the people who were hiring you and directing you. It was a really interesting thing. I just found that was the one thing that was still going on. There were so many auditions for voice gigs that at least, kind of kept me going. I didn't even have to book them. I just needed to have something to constantly be, doing, because you couldn't take pictures 24 hours a day. It gets dark sometimes, and those birds are hiding in the dark.
Yeah, we just
2020 was a rough.
We're well aware it gets dark.
No.
So dark, but that's something else. That was the longest 10 years of our lives.
Yeah.
But we made it through.
Yeah.
And we'll come through 2020, whatever this year is, and we'll make it just the best years we can, because you know what? We just have to. You either make it work or you just sit in a corner and cry. And I'm a lot of tears now, because that corner, I wasn't in there for a very long time.
So, Danielle, one more thing I did want to ask. So earlier, you brought up about stunts. You were doing stunts. Like, have you always wanted to do like your own stunts, or how did you fall into being? Because I know a lot of actors don't do their own stunts, but you do. Like, so how did that devolve into you wanting to do it, or you just fell into it?
Well, so for some freak of nature, I am genetically predisposed to get really defined muscles. It could be a combination. My mom is Asian and my dad's Italian, so I feel like it's the thin skin from my mom's Asian background over the musculature of my dad's Italian background. So I've always, from 15, my first bicep popped up just from grooming horses.
Oh, wow. And
from that point on, I felt ashamed and embarrassed about having these really muscular arms. Because remember, there was a time, I don't know if any of you were around then, that, it wasn't cool for a woman to have these muscles. And then all of a sudden, Linda Hamilton came around in the Terminator movie, the second one, and it became okay and desirable. And so that was pretty much, I was very athletic. But when I came out to LA, I met this stunt guy, and he's my husband. We've been married a long time now. But all of a sudden, when you start dating a stunt person, like, hey, let's go over to Chip's house and jump off the roof onto this, ball pads that he's got over there. And that's what a date becomes, learning how to do high falls off of somebody's roof. So it was marrying him and getting involved in that community that I learned all the stunts. And it just became like another tool that I could use as an actress. When I did the Hawaii Five-0 episode, one of the nicest things, even though I don't personally own any guns, when I was handling the weapons I had to for Hawaii Five-0, I got a lot of great compliments from the armorers, the guys who provide the guns, on the way I could handle it, the way I could load it, everything that I was doing. So it's another tool in your arsenal, for me. It's just something else that I can bring, to a character. So while I don't really consider myself a stunt person, I'm not the one who wants to be lit on fire. There are plenty of stupid people at that. Please don't make me jump over that car or hit it, And in fact, in Portal, there was an actress who did some of the stunts for me, because there were some things that I knew I'd hurt myself if I tried. And I wanted to keep, going on. Better for me to keep being able to act in the rest of the film than to say, sure, I can do a high fall holding a weapon from this degree and flip over that way. I don't want to get hurt, and give somebody else the job. Heidi Schnapp, she's amazing. She actually has been the double for the actress Jamie on Blind Spot. Is that?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah, she became.
That's got some intense stunts.
But when she did Portal with us, that was her first stunt gig, her first big one. And, years later, you're like, I'm so happy for you, So.
I think I don't know about y'all, one of my favorite stunt persons, she is amazing, is, oh God, what's her, I know her first, last name, it's Moneypenny. She's the stunt double for,
Heidi
Moneymaker, yes, not Moneypenny. I was thinking of James Bond. She's the stunt double for Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Oh, she's amazing, and she's just it's one of the sweetest people like I've ever had social interactions with, aside from you, because you are just, hey, yeah, I'll come. 5 seconds later. But yeah, I just, is Hollywood as intimidating as it seems for? I mean, you're in the industry, but like somebody that maybe I want to get into acting or something. Is it intimidating? Is it a big hurdle to jump over?
To start out, I feel like I started out as an actor so long ago, I can't even remember. But I don't remember. Was it hard? Probably was. But I have been doing it for a really long time. There's a lot of times that I get the opportunity where someone is starting out, and I get the opportunity to tell them, hey, try this. Don't be afraid to, send in something to somebody you've heard about, or try to develop that relationship. And you never know where you're going to develop your next relationship from. You're building relationships with casting directors. You're not trying to insist upon that I'm the best actor for your next job. You're just building a relationship, because that relationship with that casting director might keep you working for 20 years. And that's true. That's the long game. People I met literally 20 years ago still call me and say, hey, you want to do this job? It kind of involves acting, but also involves stunts. And, could you do this? And it pays X amount. And you're like, yeah, I just got another, pension credit, because
nice.
of a relationship I've had for 20 years. So yeah, it is trying to figure out how do you develop this long-term relationships. It's what keeps you working.
Look at it less in terms, I want this job, and more like, I may not get this job, but I got a friend for life kind of thing.
If that cast director goes, she wasn't right for this, but you still kind of pop up in their brain. When I did the NCIS, I had auditioned for that office 7 times. It was the 7th audition. And there were so many times they were like, oh, that was great. I'm like, and no, okay, fine.
Cool.
But finally on the 7th one, it was right. And I was a Marine colonel, it was just a lot of fun to finally get to wear that uniform and be that badass.
Can't wait to watch. I'm going to watch that episode. I've been behind on NCIS, but I'm going to be watching with my parents and be like, I know her. See that Marine colonel? I know her.
So
She's cool.
at level 1, we have 2 people. One is Demetrius. The other, her name is Leah Lisi. She's such a sweetheart. Who are inspiring voice actors and actresses, right? I know Leah has recently done a couple of I don't want to say interviews, auditions that she's done. If you could give advice, and we really wanted to get Leah Lisi in here today, but she had some prior engagements, she couldn't make it. If you could give advice to someone who's really wanted to get into voice acting, what would you give that person?
Man, so much of it is the technical aspects, because a lot of people really have their acting down, they got a great voice, but you put them in front of a computer and they have to do all of this technical stuff themselves. There's a lot of great sources. I mean, if you are in the union, there's a whole lab designed to help actors, become technically savvy.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things. If you can find like a place that teaches you all of those elements, voice labs are great. That's what you need to know. I mean, there's a lot of really good actors out there, and it's obviously important to have that craft as well. So studying acting and getting to work with other people, whether it's, making short films with your friends, that's working, that's learning. But yeah, learning how to do all the technical aspects too.
We'll be sure to play that part back for her whenever she gets back from her trip and say, hey, Leah, got some advice for you. So that's awesome.
Do it. Just do it. Don't be afraid to do it. You sometimes, I bet you when you were recording a lot of stuff or acting a lot of stuff, you felt foolish doing it, but sometimes that's the best take.
The hardest thing for me personally is the self-directing, because, I'm used to taking direction. I like it a lot. I like it when somebody says, okay, try it this way, do it this way. But when you're doing your audition yourself here, you've got nobody but, what's going on right here.
Mm-hmm.
So you listen to it and you go, is that right? Is that what they're looking for? Studying the copy. Am I getting everything? Am I missing some aspect? I think for me, the biggest challenge is the self-direction. As an actor, you don't really want to be watching yourself and judging yourself as you do something. You just want to be in the moment. But as you go over what you've just recorded, you have no choice but to keep going over and go, did I find all those elements? Is that genuine? Could I do that better?
So this distance recording, it's harder than a director being like, hey, do this, do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
That question made
I
me think.
love being in the studio and having someone, guide me. Okay, so this part is like this, but now I want you to make this shift and this transition. I love taking the direction. But
That question made me think of Dallas here, because Dallas at level 1, he's very creative, and he started this series to where I know he feels silly, but he's going back and forth with a Funko Pop, and so it kind of made me think like, oh man, that the end part is what we saw. We see him going back and forth with the Funko Pop, and it's hilarious. But now I'm thinking like, man, Dallas must have really sat there. It's like, man, I'm really doing
talking
this.
to myself.
Man, I was really just, I don't know. It's, the sorts of conversations that we have, and I'm like, you really kind of being cynical, and I'm just like, why do you have to be like that? Just enjoy it and blah, blah, blah. I really just took those and like all the same stuff that you say that I'm probably thinking in the back of my head, all of those thoughts are just coming out of its mouth. And it's just going back and forth and arguing for no reason.
I don't know whether I should be happy or disappointed that you think of me with that cynical character.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Y'all
I know.
put that together.
I know. But before we, waste too much of your time, Danielle, can you tell us if we will be expecting, not if we're expecting you any games, what can we be expecting from you in the next year? Or, God, I hope 2021 feels like a year and not 10 years, but the next 2021, what are we looking for?
Well, the only thing I can really talk about is I'm going to be doing another movie with Nate Hapke. I've done 2 short films for him that have gone to all these great festival circuits, and he's just announced, so I can say that he's going to be doing his first full-length feature, and has asked me to be in it. So I'm looking forward to shooting that. Otherwise, though, it amazes me that Mass Effect Andromeda came out in 2017, and people are still doing new artworks. That's the thing. I can't help but want to share it with everybody. The fact that there are so many really amazingly talented people out there who then bang off another amazing drawing or whatever, a scenario. I love sharing that stuff. I really am amazed that it's going to be 4 years in March since the game came out. And there's still all these cool, fan arts that keep happening.
Once the gamers love you, we love you forever. Like, you stay in our hearts forever. We fall in love with voice actress and characters and actresses, and we love you forever, man. This is what we do a lot of stuff on our website, but gaming is what's at our core. And so like me, I don't know why I'm blanking on her name. The character who does Aloy in Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, even if I see cosplay of his character, I'm like, I'm going to take a picture with you because I'm just in love with this character, right? So you're going to forever get that. And we're hoping that whenever you are no longer under NDAs and you can talk about some of the things that you may be doing, we would love to talk to you again, because we would love to continue to show, how much we love the work you guys are doing, because it's essential to what we wake up and breathe and think about 24/7.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really cool. I got this just this past week. I got this from the artist Shia Fury. She just did this and sent that to me. It's long may Vetra live.
She'll live forever.
Yeah.
Like, forever. It's always amazing too when we get to sit down and talk to somebody who's been in such a prominent role, or we learn the voice behind it. Like, I just learned last week that Samara's voice in Mass Effect 3, the Justicar, is Billie Eilish's mom, and I was like, "Excuse me?"
Really?
Okay. Yeah.
She's
been doing a lot of voice acting. She's a big voice actress, but I was like, okay, I guess. Like, she's super cool. One of my favorite characters. Not quite as up there as
Billie
Vetra.
Eilish grew up like right in this neighborhood here.
Yeah.
I think she went to school really close to where I live. So I may know her mom. I may run into her at the grocery store.
Be like, hey, I know you.
Hey,
Samara? Vetra? Hey. Okay.
Yeah. We got a thing.
Yeah.
So,
that's awesome.
Before we, exit out, where can people find you so they know where to stalk you? Not stalk you. Stalk you sounds horrible. Where can people find you so they could just fall in love with you?
Source for all things Mass Effect for me. I appreciate all of my, the people who just follow me on Twitter. That seems to now just be Mass Effect fans, and I absolutely love it. So, if that's something that you're into, if you had a favorite moment when you were doing your 5th playthrough, whatever, please let me know. I just absolutely love it. If you do like little screen captures, things like that, I love to see those, and I will retweet them. So that's the number one place. My photography is on Instagram. If you like lots of pictures of birds. They're
great for reference photos. You're an artist, by the way.
Well, I have a lot of fun with it. But that's only for like people who really like birds. But that's the best place. I have Danielle Rayne Official is my Instagram, which, I have a love-hate relationship with social media, like a lot of people do, and I will find myself just kind of ignoring it for several weeks, and then just, okay, let me just do a deep dive, and 6 hours later, I finally come out. So that's probably why. If there's like a burst of stuff that happens and then nothing, it's all good. It's all good.
And before we go again, we love you. Thank you for hanging out with us for this. And guys, I have done a Vetra fan art on my Instagram, so you should probably go check it out at the Floor Hugger and see it and like it, because I think it's the only Mass Effect Andromeda fan art I ever did. I've done stuff for the other trilogies, but nah, Vetra was the girl. But thank you, Danielle. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for indulging me. Thank you for answering all of our questions. Is there anything you want to say before we head out?
No, I'm just really glad that you reached out to me and asked me to do this, because it was great. It was great.
And she's been smiling and she's been excited about this since she told us, like, hey guys, look at this, look at this. I'm gonna ask this, and it was just you can truly see, like, when someone knows about a person and truly appreciate the art, because acting is an art, right? And it was just awesome to see her overwhelmed with joy, and I'm sure she's gonna be talking about it with us tonight. And you've made her day, so that makes me really happy. So
my ear.
Well, thanks so much for hanging out with me and taking my mind off of this constant rain. Yeah,
I have to say I'm excited about the fact that there's things that you can't tell us, because
that's exciting, right?
But also, I've been in her situation. I'm under a EA NDA from Dragon Age or Inquisition, so almost 8 years ago, still under NDA for it, so I understand that.
NDAs are forever, aren't they? Oh my gosh.
They really just don't go away. They're like 11 years.
They own you.
Okay.
They just own you. Yeah. Okay.
It hurts my heart.
That's the price I got to pay to play. Sure.
Amen.
Hope everybody has a great night and a great rest of their weekend. And you know where to find me.
Of course.
Yes, indeed. So I guess I gotta do my thing, my outro thing. With that being said, thank you guys for rocking with us once again. Make sure you guys get all your game news from Lv1gaming.com. Be sure to look in the description down below, or also in the comment section or the bottom of the record, wherever you see this content at. We will have everything that you can find Miss Danielle at, even though, like she said, she don't do social media that often, but when she does, she is there and she loves the feedback. So we'll have all of her things where you can find her, not stalk her like Floor Hugger said, where you can find her and support her work. Make sure you guys have a wonderful day, and we will see you guys soon.
Annyeong.
Bye.